Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. So glad you're here this morning to join us on the show, and got a great show lined up. We'll get started with our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center, always there right there next to on 77 and Baldwin Road, right there on that corner. So run by and check them out. Now, our weather, it's awesome. I mean, I love this. I know you feel the same way. This is cool mornings. High today, are you ready for this? 85. A low tonight, 68. Now, when I look down at the water temperature, though, it has actually dropped 1 degree now down to 83. So that might be the beginning of what we're looking for. So that's all good news there. And we're looking for the weekend now. The meteorologists are calling for rain, about 60% chance. So we're gonna hold off and before we predict it. We'll talk about it again tomorrow and have a better opportunity to look at it. But anyway, the river readings, Bluntstown, take a look at it. The big river over at Bluntstown is in great shape for the weekend, reading right at a 3 foot this morning, actually a 2.9, and ironically, the Choctahatchee is at a 2.8. I always get amused by how close these rivers are a lot of times. So both of them in the same condition. You just take your pick which one you want to go to. Tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery right here on 23rd Street, and their motto is when caring counts. And looking at today is September the 25th, and we're looking at starting a little bit of a tide. We're looking at a low tide at 6:17 this morning and a high tide at 10:37 tonight, but we only got about a 0.8 foot range right there. And I got a northeast wind, marine forecast northeast at 10 to 15. So it's a little bit of sunrise at 6:32, sunset at 6:35. So we're right at 12 hours of sunlight, and you can see that, the days are getting a little bit shorter now. You start picking it up. All right, each week or on a regular basis, we like to call down on the eastern end of the viewing area, and Blue Water Outriggers sponsored this spot, and I always like to talk to Captain Blair Morgan to find out what's going on down there. Good morning, Blair.
Good morning. How you?
I'm doing great, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
How you like this cool weather?
Well, I tell you what, I got my front door open here on the bay, and the wind's blowing, and it's almost cold.
It feels good.
Feels good. Maybe get rid of some of these bugs.
Well, I know. We always think about here's fall, and we think about, of course, the hunting and fishing is always great. But always talking about high school football. I know you're really involved with the St. Joe Sharks down there, and you go to all those games, and they're looking good this year.
Yeah, St. Joe's got a real good team this year, Winston, and they're really doing good, and we're having a big time with it.
Well, that's really good. I'm keeping up with all the. I love Saturday morning getting the paper and reading it, or now on Friday Night Fever or overtime, whatever. I love watching the highlights, keeping up with high school football. So it's good to keep up with it. But anyway, what's going on down there?
Well, of course, college season it's over with.
Yeah.
For the year, and it was not really good, but I watched the show a while ago. Ken Paramore was on there, like he's saying. This time of year, we're kind of transitioning between fishing and hunting and doing some other stuff. But I've got a friend of mine from Tennessee that is down here, and he's staying at Mexico Beach. And he called me and asked me where to go fishing and whatnot. And he's been going offshore and having pretty good luck on gag grouper.
Huh.
And yeah, he's one of the few that I know of that's been doing it. But he's a good fisherman. And the wind was blowing one day. He said, "Where do you think I need to go?" I said, "Well, I'd go around Crooked Island up there somewhere." And he went up there throwing a skitter walk and caught a lot of redfish and trout on a skitter walk.
Yeah. He's having a good time down here, isn't it?
Yeah. So, he's down here on vacation. He's gonna fish every day.
Well, you're funny you say that, Brad. We're talking about these guys coming in. We've got a bunch of locals here that love fishing, but some of these guys coming in from out of town are excellent fishermen. I know my buddies over in Valdosta. They come down here and they fish hard, and your buddy from Tennessee, they fish hard, and they know how to fish, and they have a good time.
Yeah, they're going fishing. They don't care if it's raining, if the wind's blowing 100 miles an hour, what they're going to do. But,
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, but I tell you one thing, everybody needs to be careful about the snakes. They're really crawling right now. This cold weather's got them moving.
Really?
Yeah. And we've been seeing a lot of bears out here on the Cape, too, here recently.
You know, I've got some bear pictures I'm going to show later on today. They are moving around. And
yeah, this cold weather's got everything moving. I think this is a mating period for snakes or something, because everywhere I turn I see snakes all of a sudden.
yeah, I'm about to get ready to go in the woods either this weekend or next weekend, so I'll keep my eyes out for them.
Yeah, especially the cottonmouths. They're bad news.
What about anything in Apalachicola Bay? Any bay fishing going on?
You know, there's not. The people that's going are just kind of off and on, depending on the wind and the weather and everything. But the white trout over there, you know, you can catch them all winter long. We keep talking about that, but they're fun to catch. And they're catching some speckled trout now. Of course, it won't be long before the fish start moving up in the creeks, you know, and it'll be fun to catch up there in the creeks.
Well, all right. Well, that sounds good, Blair. I appreciate that report, buddy.
All right. Well, have a good one.
All right, have a good time at that ball game tomorrow night.
We will.
All right. We'll see you later, Blair.
Thank you.
All right. That's Captain Blair Morgan representing Blue Water Outriggers. So we'll take our break and be right back. All right, we're going to move along and get started on some pictures here now. We got some good stuff to show you, and I always like to start off. I was interspersing with some sayings and all that I pick up along the way. This is a good one right here. And if you look at this drawing, and so many of us sort of get involved with just chasing after that dollar bill, and before you know, we're in the grave. And we always have to stop and remind ourselves to enjoy the small things in life, like the great outdoors. That's why we have Panhandle Outdoors on here right now. So just a word of advice. I showed that to my class. Well, most of the stuff I show here, I showed to my class. Here's Linda Cabot. Linda's been on the show before. Linda's a good fisherman. That's a nice red fish out of a kayak. Good job, Linda Cabot. Good job. All right. I showed this one yesterday with Ken Paramore. I want to show it again. That's a nice mahi. Ken Paramore's son, Matt, and his girlfriend. Good job there. All right, the Women's Bass Association, Carolyn Poog sent this. They're running strong. They've got all these big bass tournaments in Hendersonville, Boynton, Shreveport, Garland, Texas, and Gaston, Alabama. The Women's Pro Bass Tour. And good job. Carolyn will come on the show one day and talk about that. All right, now, next picture here is for flounder. And, you know, it's going to be that time of the year. That's Brandon Fuller. I love that gig there. I love a 5-prong gig like that. Good job, Brandon. All right, move on along. You're talking about a wahoo. How about an 8 and 9.5? It's coming Panama City Fishing. This is Alan Floyd. That was this past week now. That is a really big wahoo, folks. That is a good one. Retired Coast Guard. All right, so I'm going to skip over these next two here. Let's see, I've got these. I want to show you this. I took this yesterday in class. We're doing cast netting now in the gym, and our cast nets coming apart. We use them so much, and the kids, these two girls here, you may or may not be able to see it. They're patching it with paper clips. They're getting the webbing back attached to the lead line using paper clips because they're torn apart from us just throwing it so much. And I thought I let them do it. I thought it was ingenious and creative of them to do it. And of course, the next period I had to take the paper clips off because they were tangling up the webbing, but I didn't want to hurt their feelings because they thought they had a good idea, and they did. And if we put some tape over it, that'll work. So I was speaking of students, every one of the students this past weekend up in Econfina doing what kids love to do. And we have a beautiful area when we're talking about the Econfina Springs and the creek up there. So I'd love to see them doing that kind of stuff. Okay, now this is, we're talking about being creative, making your own floundering light and all. This is William Jones he's got $25 in that floundering light. So this, good job, William. Now, we've got some bear pictures sent in by the youngers, and this is this is a series of bear pictures, okay? This is from Charlie and Deborah Youngers. And say, good morning, Winston. I've got several of these. Go to the next one here. Charlie left to go fishing early today and asked me to send you this series of pictures from our game camera in the backyard last night. The bear showed up around 11:30 and stayed for about an hour, just lying around out back. The latest bear you ever saw. Regards, Charlie and Deborah Youngers. And there's a series of pictures, and this bear, you look at him, he just, I guess, it looked like he'd already eaten and all. But it's funny how a game camera can pick up a series of things. Then he got and walked around some more. But that's a good series of bear pictures there. Okay, help us identify this lure right here. One of my viewers sent this. It looked like a Paul Brown lure, but we can't, it's not a soft body. So if you know exactly what that lure is, let us know. And he went to tackle stores and they couldn't identify it either, but he caught some fish with it and wants to know what it is. Okay, talking about duck season now, we got through September 25th through 28th now is going to be this teal only. So you're picking it up, you can go today and on through the weekend. Early teal only, okay? All right, don't forget also this weekend, Treasure Island Marina 40th Annual King Mackerel Tournament. It's going to be Friday and Saturday, okay? Captain meeting Friday, fishing Saturday. And I always love these pictures. Tim Kahneman, one of our loyal viewers, just happened to be at the right place at the right time. And this was not a posed picture. These turtles are heading out. But they're hatching. These nests are hatching this time of year pretty strong. Good job there, Tim. Thank you for sharing that. Okay? That catches up with pictures. And I often think, I was driving this morning, I often think about what a great, we're talking about Panhandle Outdoors team. It's a team effort. When we get pictures like this, I was thinking about it. Like I said, it's not about Winston Chester in front of the camera or Jeff Peck back there behind the camera or Gail doing the editing. All those are vital parts, but so much of it are the sponsors that help pay for the time on the air, and then you, the viewers. So it's such a team effort. I've coached all my life, and on these great teams I've had and good teams I've had, it's always been everybody contributing on the whole team. And later on, it's always started out with athletics as a team approach, and later on, industry picked it up, and military everybody started talking about, and education started talking about teams and all. But it started out with athletic competition, and then we're all doing it. But teamwork is so important. So the contribution we get from viewers like you just helps so much to spread the word and show what's going on and share so many good things. So I appreciate all this, and helps us have a good, interesting show every morning. So let's take a break, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Getting ready to show a video. We're always talking about doing outdoor things and all, and when you always have a plan B, and it goes back to coaching and all. You always, something don't work in basketball or football or baseball, you go back and try a backup plan. And I've always been ingrained in me since my younger years. And this past weekend is a great example. Go down to Cape San Blas and spend a weekend. In the back of the truck, I have to have room for my dog, of course, but we stacked up 2 of our kayaks. So we had 2 kayaks. I wanted to do some kayak fishing, and got down there. And on Friday, it was raining. I don't know if you noticed the radar this past Friday. It cut right around Tyndall. Everything south of Tyndall had cloud cover and rain, and north of Tyndall in Panama City, it was clear. I mean, not necessarily clear, it was overcast and no rain. So Friday was just literally a washout. So that plan A went to the side. And the other part, on Saturday, now we'd planned to take the kayaks out and scallop. Well, we got up Saturday morning, and the wind's coming out of the northeast. Now we're on the Cape, so and the St. Joe Bay is on, the water's being blown into us. So the waves were pretty choppy. It was too choppy to take a kayak. We had 2 of the grandkids with us, so we didn't. We planned on scalloping that day out behind the house and all. So we had to go to Plan B. We didn't get to fish, or we didn't get to go to scallop. So what we did went to Plan B, and I always have a backup. We just go out to the beach, just take a couple of surf rods with us, and just let the kids play around. At least I was going to get my hook wet. So that's what the video is. It's actually Plan B on the video. So I think you'll enjoy it. We got a kick out of it and really had a good time. So let's go to our Plan B fishing with Maddie McKenzie, my two of my granddaughters. Okay. step up. You're doing good. You walk on that. Everything tangled up. Look at you. I'll take you on.
I'll hold it.
We got into these ladyfish, skipjack, one-man tarpon. Got Maddie McKenzie fishing with me today, and Maddie's baiting them up. We're using these fish strips. We're doing a little experiment. Doing orange on top, doing green in the middle, and doing pink on the bottom. Now right now, Maddie's like tied up pretty well in there, hitting the green and the pink. Beautiful day. We got a wind coming out of the northeast, so that means on the Cape we have the wind sort of behind our back, so it's pretty calm out here. Well, I guarantee you, it's going about 15. I got some Tony and those other boys out fishing. And the Lady J, I know they're having a tough time with us. They're probably 6-foot seas out there. All right, baby, got it?
Yeah.
All right, you hold the camera, I'm gonna throw it out. You got something? Is it wiggling? Welcome back. Let's go into our fishing times, then we'll talk about the video. Our fishing time brought to us by Mark Coward of Edgewater Beach Realty. Mark's number is 832-6000. Call him up, ask about property, and ask him how to catch them redfish while you're talking to him. All right. Times this morning, 1:15 to 3:15, but this afternoon after lunch at 1:38 to 3:38. Two really good times right there. So you can see from the video, ladyfish will save the day a lot of times. And he said, Mackenzie wanted to know if the boyfish was bigger than the ladyfish. So I never really thought about that. But those were some big ladyfish. I don't know if you noticed. I mean, they were big and healthy this time of year. They've been feeding all summer, and it's exciting to catch them. I used to sort of, just look at them with disdain, and I didn't want to fool with them. But the older I've gotten, the more I enjoy catching those things. They put on a show. It really, we joke about it being a poor man's tarpon, but they really are. They do identical. I've caught tarpon. They do identical what the tarpon does. And when we get tired of jumping, that's it. And but the Florida State record is right at 6 pounds and maybe a few ounces. And I was thinking, I wish I'd weighed that first one. I don't know if you noticed. I bet that was a good 5-pounder right there. I wish I'd have weighed it. And I bet so many of us have caught ladyfish. Probably would have broke the state record, and every fool would check them out. So I'm going to start weighing some of those big ones we catch. But they are a lot of fun, and it saved the day as far as me satisfied my itch to just get a line in the water. So it was a lot of fun. You can see you always have a plan B. I don't care if you're freshwater, saltwater, if you're out there hunting and all. So we're going to have to, on our plan Bs, most of the time I don't have to go to them, but on occasion you do have to go to them. All right? We're going to have to start wrapping things up. Now tomorrow, of course, being Friday, we have our famous Friday fishing forecast. We're going to be giving away some seafood from Tarpon Dog, so you be sure and join us. Got a great show lined up, and don't forget to send us some information when you get it, and we'll share it with everyone else in the Panhandle. All right, sometime today, you always be sure and do something good for your fellow man. You have a great day. Enjoy the outdoors, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.